guests can move toward the stage and take your seat, we can kick off today's event. How's everyone doing today? Are you ready to kick off today's event? Show me some excitement. Well, yeah. Well, thank you everyone for making time to come to Pitch at Palace, the first event in Vietnam. So thank you for making time. I know everyone is very busy, and it's a special thanks to also the star of the show today, all the founders. Can you all wave your hands, please? They all have the red badge. So since we start a little bit late today, I'll just get right to it. Please help me welcome Mr. Dominic Striven, the chairman of Dragon Capital. He will open with his opening remarks. Thank you.
Good morning, greetings, Your Highness, a very warm welcome, and your timing is propitious because last night Vietnam beat the Philippines 2-1. Vietnam vô địch! Tôi nhiệt liệt chào mừng ngài hoàng tử Andrew công tước York quay trở về Việt Nam. Công tước đã sang Việt Nam nhiều lần và thể hiện mối quan hệ trung thành và tin cậy của nước Anh đối với Việt Nam. Đáng mừng là chuyến thăm lần này đánh dấu vào dịp mối quan hệ của hai nước tròn 45 năm. A very warm welcome, Your Highness, Prince Andrew, Duke of York, on your return to Vietnam. You have visited Vietnam many times and are a symbol of the loyalty and the credibility of the British relationship with Vietnam. It's especially happy that your visit this time falls on the celebration of 45 years relationship between two companies. But this time, the Duke is here in another capacity. He's here to introduce Vietnam as, I believe, the 58th member into the program Pitch at the Palace. A program for entrepreneurs that, as I understand, has helped over 800 company founders see the light of day. Bằng tiếng Việt, cái chương trình Pitch at the Palace có lẽ chúng ta sẽ nói trình ở Dinh, phải không? Very appropriately, this falls only 1 week after Nguyen Xuan Phuc, Vietnamese Prime Minister, oversaw TechFest in Da Nang and has reminded us of the need to create an ecosystem for young business people to help Vietnam meet the challenges of the next 4.0 revolution. Thay mặt cho ban tài trợ buổi này là ngân hàng Standard Chartered, là tập đoàn Jardine Matheson, là công ty Dragon Capital, cũng như là anh chị em ở Tổng lãnh Sự khoản Anh. Tôi xin kính chúc các anh, các chị khởi nghiệp trên bài cách thành công. Kính chúc các anh chị tiên được gặp nhiều cơ hội thú vị. Xin chúc mọi người được chosen hôm nay. Và xin cảm ơn tất cả các anh chị doanh nhân, nhà đầu tư, khán giả và báo chí đã có mặt. On behalf of the sponsors of today, Standard Chartered Bank, Jolly Matheson and Dragon Capital, and of course, the very hard-working team at the British Consulate, thank you all for attending today. Good luck, presenters. May you all be chosen. Good luck, angels. May you find happy hunting. Thank you all very much indeed. And I hand over to the Duke, Your Highness.
Thank you, Dominic. And now, please put your hands together and help me welcome Your Royal Highness Prince Andrew, the Duke of York, to the stage.
Thank you very much indeed for your introduction. Ladies and gentlemen, it's an enormous pleasure for me to be here in Vietnam to bring pitchatpalace here. I started pitchatpalace about 5 years ago as a single event in the United Kingdom. And since then, we have grown over to 58 countries now, including Vietnam. We've, as you've heard, helped and supported some 850 companies, and we've had something in the region of about 850 million pounds worth of money invested in those businesses. We are a family of businesses rather than a shark or a dragon. We believe that it's about how we grow businesses that is important. So what Pitch wants to do is to work with the entrepreneurial community and the governments in various countries in order to showcase the incredible innovation that is going on in different countries around the world. To give you just an example, in China for the last 2 years, we've had 20,000 applications for just 42 places. But over that 5 years, what we are trying to do, and what we are trying to set out to do, is to find mentors for the businesses, because actually businesses need mentorship. We are looking for advisors. Those are professional advisors in terms of accountants, bankers, lawyers, management consultants, people who can actually help make that difference to the business processing as those businesses grow. We're also looking to access supply chains and distribution systems, because if we can access supply chains and distribution systems, then entrepreneurs can start to earn revenue. And once they start earning revenue, things start to become just a little bit easier. And probably the one thing that makes the biggest difference to entrepreneurs in our platform is the connections that we can make. Because we have now grown over the last 5 years to 58 countries, we have a foothold in just about any continent, with the exception of Antarctica, just about any continent And if you're looking to expand outside the boundaries of your own jurisdiction and nationality, then coming through us to find either investors or partners or people who can work with you, we have the ability of being able to get onto the ground and help you. Now, interestingly, investment is the last thing that I am actually looking for today. And the reason that investment is the last thing that I am looking for is simple. Entrepreneurs need to build a relationship with the investor. And if we are in a position to be able to introduce you to an investor so that you can build that relationship, because that is what is going to make the difference. And in most cases, when an investor is investing in a start or a scale-up business, it's about the individual. It's about the person that you are investing in. So it's not just possible to look and say, I will invest in you today. So I want to build relationships, which is where you, the audience, come in and are so important to the event that we are holding today. Because you are the people who are going to listen to these entrepreneurs, and you are going to make notes, and you are going to make an action, not necessarily with every single one, but I can assure you, my team will have advised every single one of the entrepreneurs today, or the founders today, to make an ask of the audience. Because if they don't ask us what they want, we have no idea how we can help them. But when I say that, there is such a thing as serendipity. And that is that whilst you're listening to these entrepreneurs, I suspect the audience will have that moment of going, oh, I know exactly who they should be introduced to. Take a note, engage with the entrepreneurs, and make that happen, please. Now, my team are here to listen as well, and I know that we take notes, and there are things that we can do as well. So, I wish the entrepreneurs today every success. I'm looking forward to hearing what you have to say and what it is that your ideas are. But remember, the audience don't know what it is that you do, and so you have to communicate that to us. Please also have an ask. Makes the audience's life so much easier if you have an ask. So enjoy this first pitch, and I hope that this will continue to grow over time, and we will expand in the future. Well, it's a great pleasure for me to be here today to kick off the first pitch in Vietnam. Of course, that would not be possible without our partners. So thank you, our partners, for your support. And I hope that if you are suitably interested as a result of this, that others may wish to join in. We're more than willing to listen. Thank you all very much indeed, and good luck.
Thank you, Prince Andrew. Hi everyone, again I'm Kelly Tran. I am the entrepreneur in residence at Visa, Vietnam's #1 startup accelerator. So thank you for having me here today. I will begin the pitch session from all the founders. But before I do that, my job as Visa is to help the entrepreneurs. I need to make sure that our founders and our entrepreneurs today get all the votes from you. So if you take a look at the screen, make sure that you download the pitchatpalace app. Inside the app, you can discover events, entrepreneurs, and audience. Now, this is important as Our speakers have mentioned how the audience here today have a crucial roles in the overall success of the entrepreneurs. There's always something that you can help the founders, help making connections and introductions to partners, business partners, and investors. So make sure to download the app and connect with the founders, and the same for the founders to connect with the audience. The second and most important part of the app is the voting. So after all the pitches today, you can vote for your 3 favorite companies, and the results will be announced after all the pitches. So if you have any problems with the app, you need your code to be scanned, please raise your hand and the member of the team will come and assist you. So may I have all the staff to come and seat the front row, please. So with that, I will kick off the pitching session. We will hear from 12 companies today. The founder will share their story and the story of their companies with you all. They will each have 3 minutes to do so. We will start with the Consumer Technology and Internet of Things company. Please help me welcome Việt Anh Nguyễn from Firewatch.
Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Việt Anh. As you know, this year, every 5 new in the internet come. So many fire in the building, in the warehouse, and in the apartment. And nowadays, the policeman, there is no the new solution for this. And the Vietnamese people need the new way to protect the people from the fires. I bring here my product. This name is Firewatch. This can protect in the space, in the large space, and it very soon to get the signal from the fire. So please, my slide. Everyone can share the data from the sensor. That means in the same time, 1,000 people can receive the signal from the sensor. And because I do like that, because in Vietnam here, so many things we need protect. For example, the pagoda, warehouse, office, and hospital, and apartment, and so on. And its application of this one is very large. So with only my team power, it's very little. I want to reduce the price of this one for wiring the people can buy. So the principle of this one like the thermal camera, but the thermal camera is expensive, very expensive. But at least my sensor is very cheap for the Vietnamese people. It can protect my Vietnamese people. That's just for you.
Thank you, Mr. Nguyen. So I have a question for you. We asked the founders to ask a specific ask from the audience. So what can people in the audience here today do for you to help grow your team, your business?
Sorry, I'm not your question.
What do you need help with the most now?
Because as you know, this technology very new, so it's expensive. I need the investor can help me the money to reduce the price of my sensor for people can get. That's the reason why I come here. If I'm that is
Thank you so much. Next, please help me welcome Lee from Sing Concept.
Good morning, Your Royal Highness, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Locke Lee. I am one of the 4 co-founders at Sing Concept. Our smartphones and the personal messages contained in it define who we are today. So why are we not actively and proactively safeguarding them? It's not secrecy when we do it, it's privacy. However, our problem is the language that we use to communicate, send and receive messages can also reveal who we are if and when someone else can see it, read it, and understand it. That is because we all have to learn and share the same rules. We broke those rules and created a solution, an alternative alphabet. The alternative alphabet allows our users to creatively change and substitute the English alphabet with any characters they want to. For instance, the letter A can be replaced with an apple, the letter B can be displayed as a banana, the letter C can be displayed as a cucumber icon, so on. After 2 years of research and development, our team has completed and launched a mobile messaging app called Biz. Biz is a new way of sending, receiving, and displaying messages with unique features that focus on protecting users' personal information. And of course, all of that is backed up by the alternative alphabet. These unique features can help protect all types of notifications, all types of messages within the conversation, and of course, while the user is typing. The current mobile market for messaging app has about 2.2 billion users and is still growing. We believe that 100% of this market is potential. However, our long-term goal is to gain a 5% market share. Yes, that is 5% market share. That is roughly about 110 million users. With that being said, our ask today is for you to help us connect with investors or partners so that we can bring this to a wider audience. So come join us in creating this new trend and give all users the power to control the privacy. Thank you.
Thank you, Locke. So you're creating new languages. We all need to learn new languages.
The platform actually doesn't create any rules. It's the user who are creating all these rules. So my alternative alphabet can be emojis, and your alternative alphabet can be Japanese or Chinese if you choose to. It's just a corresponding letter to the 26th letter of the English alphabet. That way, so when you send and receive messages, you can display it as the alternative alphabet.
So can you share with the audience a little bit about your traction? For example, how many messages have been sent through your platform? How many active users you have today? Maybe how many rules or languages that you created?
That's actually a good question. Currently, we are pretty much operating in silence so that we can perfect our product more. So currently, right now, we only are open to family and friends to not only test the market, but also to test the features that we have. So at the moment, we are pretty much ready to launch to a bigger market.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And next up, please put your hands together for Annie Wu from Tibet.
Your Royal Highness, ladies and gentlemen, see, I'm a massive fan of traveling and a firm believer of the saying, traveling is the only thing you can buy that makes you richer. Now, every time I travel, I spend long hours researching the destination, where to go, what to eat, and so on. Technically, that should not be too difficult. But no matter how many hours I spend on Google, when I get there, the culture shocks still get me. And guess what? There are 12 million people, international visitors to Vietnam, that share the exact same problem. I'm Annie, CEO and co-founder of Tubit, an online travel platform, the solution for your culture shock problem. Now, when it comes to travel, there's three things that's the most important. One, convenience. You can book accommodation and flight on an app through a tab. Why can't you not just book a local person to help you, assist you, and help you arrange everything in that way as well? Two, local experiences. You want to make the most out of your journey, right? So you want to breathe in with the culture and talk to the local people as much as possible. Yes or yes? And affordability. You don't want to break your bank affording these services. Now, Tubit have those three in one app. We're available on App Store, Play Store, and website as well. You can conveniently filter out your local buddies based on your demand and what you need, the right one for you, and filter out based on your budget and pay with PayPal. The local buddies set the rate themselves and is available for 4 hours and 8 hours. Tubit charges 25% upon their earning. Well, now, our business model is simply connecting the local living Google with to the travelers. Simple as that. We want you to put down your phone, you turn off your 4G, and actually have a personal local conversation with the local people. Tubit is for two types of customers. The first one is the one that travel for leisure. They want to have the best authentic and local food, have the best experiences. So they want somebody to help them. The second one is the one that travel for business. They don't have much time to waste. So they want to book somebody who can translate the language and know exactly what's the best for them. Now, 16 months ago, Tubit was born in Manchester, UK. 12 months ago, we moved to Vietnam. 5 months ago, we successfully registered a company in Vietnam. In September, our revenue was £3,000. Last month, our revenue was £10,000. Now, I'm here today to ask for you guys to help me to disrupt this robotic tourism industry and connect me with a tech investor and marketing advisor. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you, Annie. So where are you taking us after this event?
That would be a big question. You need a local buddy for that.
Okay, we have you, right? All right. So can you share a little bit about how you are different than other players in the market like TripMe or InspiTrip, who are also helping connect tourists with local experiences?
So there are three things that we are different from the others. The first one is we actually put the human touch in front, like up front. So you'll be able to choose and filter out the person before you choose the trip. And then you'll be able to customize the whole thing based on what you want and what's your demand. Secondly, you don't have to pay per person anymore. You only pay for the buddy's time. So no matter how many people, under 8 people, that you have, that you will have to pay just one price, no hidden cost. And thirdly is that there's no limited tours. So that means that you can do whatever you want and no 2 trips will ever be the same. You will have the whole time different experience from everybody else and not have to share the exact same photos you take in, I don't know, Opera House in Ho Chi Minh anymore with everybody else. So, yeah.
Thank you. So next we will hear from companies in the data management and analytics group. So please help me welcome Nhung Nguyễn from Orient Software.
Good morning, Your Royal Highness, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Nhung, CEO of Orient Software. Economists from Oxford University predict that 47% of job roles will be lost to automation by 2035. This poses a challenge to enterprises, existing and future employees, and wider society. Here in Vietnam, a skilled, adaptable workforce is essential to ensure the strong, sustainable, and balanced growth. People will need to update their skills in order to stay relevant to the needs of employers. The job of tomorrow won't be the same as the job of today. At Orient, we have developed a tool for connecting enterprises and employees. Using artificial intelligence, we match key requirements in order to find the right job for the right person. Our tool identifies training needs of the individual based upon the job needs of enterprises. This allows for more efficient recruitment process, taking the pain out of the advertising, interviewing, and onboarding process of the new employees. For the job seeker, we offer a digital career counseling tool, which allows them to understand their strengths and interests. This way, the job seeker can truly follow their passion and what they want in life. Currently, working with our partners in Malaysia, we have 70,000 people using our tool to further their career. Here in Vietnam, we have 10,000 people currently using the tool. Our ask is simply this: we want you to help us to grow, to have 100,000 users of our tool in Vietnam by Feb 2019 and over 2 million globally users by end of 2019. Let's talk. In conclusion, now you have the opportunity to shape the future workforce. Let's think about that. This is the future. Thank you.
Thank you. So you are only 20,000 users away from meeting your goals. Like that, right?
No, not really. We have only 10,000 in Vietnam, so we want to have 100,000
in Vietnam.
Yeah.
Wow. So of the 80,000 users that you have in Malaysia and Vietnam already, what are some of the top skills that enterprises are looking for from the workforce of the future?
I think, of course, IT. The IT is skill is in a high demand, but it's all sorts of skills for in human resource, in medication, in restaurant, hospitality, yeah, many things.
Excellent. Thank you.
Thank you.
Now let's hear from the Education Technology Group. Please help me welcome Trương Võ Hữu Thiên from GarageSTEM.
Good. Check my says, if we don't change the way that we teach right now, 30 years from now, we will be in trouble. Good morning, Your Highness, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Trương Võ Hữu Thiên. I am the founder and CEO of GarageSTEM. I'm here today to tell you a story. It's a story of mine. So when I was a student, I think that game development is rapid design. I don't know what is programming and what programming can transform who I am today. It's not just happened to me, it's happened to many of our high school students. It leads to a situation that 60% of our graduate students now are jobless, and 70% of the future jobs require STEM and STEAM skills. So this number can increase significantly in the future. And there's one solution we call STEM education. STEM education inspires children to create a real-life application to solve real-life problems. However, applying STEM education in school can interfere some problems and obstacles. First, the school don't have the kids are using a very expensive one. It's not suitable for majority of people. Second, they are using the traditional syllabus. We need more creative STEM syllabus. And finally, the teachers don't have the STEM knowledge for training. So GaraSTEM now developing and manufacturing quality but more affordable robotic kits for majority of people. So now we just did 35 to 73 US dollar. Now the kids can build 10 to 20 kind of robots. And now they can build car, helicopter, truck, and boat robots. Connecting with the application on desktop and mobile application, the kids can study coding anywhere that they want. And the way that we build this hardware is very easy. It's just plug and play hardware level standard. The way that we build the software, drag and drop programming. So we will make sure that every kid can study programming. Every year we build an offline competition to connecting the school, a student from school to school, region to region. Together with that, we build an online community for the kids can create and share the knowledge with each other. So this year we have a competition in Ho Chi Minh City. We have 100 schools joining out, participating in the competition. We launched in 3 provinces, and now we're about to launch in Singapore 2 schools. The ask for us is we want to looking for the introduction for the educational partners and distributors so that the platform can go across many schools and can reach to more students. We will launch the AI technology next year for platform for every high school to study about this notable technology. So together, we think that we can build the next generation of creators. Thank you very much for your listening.
Please stay for the question, please. Just a little bit longer. So thank you for the pitch. I have a two-part question. First is, how do you make money? What's the business model behind your business? And why are you expanding to Singapore?
So the way that we make money, like we partner with the educational companies so they can make the syllabus and make sure that the syllabus enhance creativity, soft skill, and good for the student. And then they will deliver the teachers, and we do the training teacher for them to school. So we share the profit discount for them to distribute for students. And why Singapore? So like it's good because like we have the event in Vietnam, it's Tech Fest, and then there they contacted me. And Singapore is very good for education. So when we go there, we can enhance we can make sure that our syllabus is good, and then we can bring the syllabus and the quality of education to the other countries.
Thank you. Thank you. All right, now we're gonna hear from the FinTech group. Please help me welcome Ronald Lee from Hawking.
Very good morning, Your Royal Highness, and very good morning, ladies and gentlemen. It's such an honor for me to be here today. And, my name is Ronald Lee. I'm a CEO and co-founder of Hawking Network. And we actually run a decentralized payment platform that focuses on money remittances. So as you know, there's about 170 million people unbanked in Southeast Asia, as well as 2.5 million people unbanked around the world. So our vision is to aim to achieve the financial inclusion and help people to have an access to global banking. And the challenge existing remittance platform up until today is First is high cost. Second is pretty much inconvenience. So on average, the foreign workers spend about 2 hours to 6 hours every time they need to send the money back home because they have to travel all the way to the shops. And on average, it's about the transaction fee per term is about 1% to 5% in Asia market every time you send the money. And even in Africa, it can cost up to 20% or 25% in the underdeveloped and developing country in Africa. So through the Hockey network, we utilize the distributed ledger technologies to bring down the cost is almost to zero, and it happens within a few seconds. So because nowadays with the phone, without having a bank account, you can. We should be able to send money cross borders instantaneously without paying such a high fee. So as of now, you can see it's impossible for us to send $10, $20, even $50, $100 cross border because it costs very high fee. To a lot of respected audience here, $10, $20 might be nothing, but $10, $20 to poor people in underdeveloped world or developing world, it means a lot. We can change life of people. We can make dreams for them. So even to Vietnam, we have about 6 to 8 million people living around the world, sending money back to our country. It's about approximately about $20 billion. Even in Southeast Asia, there's about 2 million foreign workers living in Singapore, 1 million foreign workers living in Malaysia, 2 million foreign workers living in Thailand, sending money back every week or every month. So it's a huge pain. And I'm here today. I love to have a chance to seek recommendations or introductions to work with financial institutions, banks, remittance partners around the world to bring down the cost and help achieve financial inclusion. And of course, we're here to seek strategic investors around the regions to work with us in the long-term journey ahead. Thank you very much for listening and your attention.
Thank you, Ron. So we all know in order to build any blockchain-based application requires a very advanced technical team. So can you share a little bit about your team?
Excellent question. Yes, we have a very strong team. We're based in the US and Vietnam. So we used to work for Telephone, and we used to build a system integrating Ripple with Melinda Gates Foundation. And we used to build a very highly scalable system for Singtel payment system, Digitel in Malaysia, and even in Vietnam, we work with Viettel, we work with Vingroup. So we understand very deep technical knowledge. So we are very confident because it's been proven, and we understand very deeply how Ripple work, how Hyperledger work, and how cryptocurrency work. But we really want to combine the traditional fiat banking with the cryptocurrency banking. So, we have a very fantastic opportunity ahead, and we really love to work with a lot of different partners.
Thank you.
And even last night, I read a report about remittances market. 30 years ago, the market is owned 100% by the bank, but up to now, the bank only owns 3 to 4% of remittance market around the world. So, with the cryptocurrency and with blockchain, I hope that instead of competition, we really love to work with the bank to bring down, to achieve financial inclusion, and also to bring hopes to a lot of people unbanked around the world. Thank you.
Thank you. So we are halfway through with all the companies are presenting today. I just want to take a moment to remind you all to download the app and connect with the founders. You will need the app to vote for these companies after all the pitches. Another company from the FinTech group, please help me welcome Tùy Nguyễn from Payway.
Good morning, everyone. Every year, around 300 million people move around for living. Half of that is from Asia. That's why I'm creating Payway. Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Tuyên. I'm a founder and CEO of Payway. Payway is the money cross-border. It's a B2B platform. During the time I'm working with the Western Union business, I found out the market in Asia still traditional way. Like Vietnam, over 80% money home delivery. In the other country like Bangladesh, Philippines, India as well. So up to date, we is our solution is we divide into two phases. The first phase is the fully loaded features by the open API, and the other is the CAP is a solution and is up to date. As you can see, is the we have done. We got the license from the central bank. We integrate with is a 37 bank in the local bank, post office, telco, a wallet provider. Not only in Vietnam, but I myself, I also is a do the R&D. I go directly to US, European, and almost Asia corridor. Up to date is we have is many is a partner choose Payway for scaling up. So I'm quite happy to be here, to looking for is an opportunity to joining with is a partner to build is our dream to come true. That is as I mentioned, we live and let live. I remember it's around 10 years ago when I run is the contact center in Vietnam. I understand is the need of is the beneficiary. How do they need the money agency? So our platform now we send the money from US, European, that only 8 seconds right now. And then it's we need is around 15 minutes for is the KYC and money laundering. That's it. And thank you for your listening. Thank you.
Thank you. Can you share with the audience a little bit about what are some of the top milestone or metrics for the next 6 months for the company?
Four is that the mine is town life for is the next 6 months. In the Q1 2019, we are launching with is a UK Post Office and Canadian Post Office for collecting money to be back to country.
Thank you.
Thank you.
We will now hear from another group of startups belonging to the vertical of health and well-being tech. So please help me welcome Isabella Yoon from Mozilla.
Hi everyone, I am Isabella. I am Dollar Mozilla. Today I want to talk about our passion. You know, nowadays people face on stress, depression from making our work, study, or relationship friendly, and special depression or stress comes with any age. Our students, children, adults, special young person. Young person are when we young, we have our problem. We keep inside, and we torturing our themselves, torturing ourselves, and we have problem. We talk with friends, we talk with family, talk with parents, but parents or family friends, they don't know exactly what happened with us. They don't understand what young with us. And when we talk with parents, talk with friends, maybe they talk negative with us. They share their experience, but they don't know exactly what happened with us. Our young person is 20% of population, but they are 100% of the future. You know, when when young, I don't know exactly who I am, or what exactly what I want to be, and I feel super. I hate myself, so I think many young people like that. So we build Moshare. Moshare in application connect our user with advisor. Advisor is experts like psychology, counselor, or people with rich and deep in life requirement advisor. They are Moshare we are anonymously connect our user with advisor. Advisor is the person. They listen to you. They listen to you. They don't hurt you. They don't compare you with someone else. They listen to you. They want to you become better, or they are make their reflection. They have your understand exactly what happened with you and help you find a best solution to solve problem. Through Moisture, we connect user with advisor through chat session, video calls, and voice calls. Users are in the app have the lead or advisor of many topics like education, business, or relationship, or health, and other topic we have a
You get to hear from the drummer finally. And thank you. Did that scare you? A little bit? Yeah. You did it. All right. So in your pitch, you did mention what the audience here can help you in growing your business over the next several months. So this is your opportunity to ask that question.
Or until now we want to expand more topic and we need more advisor, more experts become an advisor and help many younger persons.
Thank you. I really love the drummer, but you don't want to hear that. You need to watch the TV. All right. Next, we will hear from Sang Zhou, representing Nutrisan.
Doesn't fit. Your Royal Highness, ladies and gentlemen, my name is San Chow, and I'm the founder and CEO of Nutrisan, a seaweed technology company based here in Vietnam. We produce a blend of seaweeds for the animal feed industry. Our seaweed supplements eliminate the need for the antibiotics and synthetics that are conventionally used in animal feed production. At a time when there is growing public concern about excessive use of antibiotics in animal husbandry and environmental reservations about the way meat is produced, our project is highly relevant. This is very much an Anglo-Asian venture. I am of Vietnamese heritage. I was born here in Ho Chi Minh City, but grew up and was educated in the UK. Our shareholders are from the UK, China, Hong Kong, and Vietnam. Nutrisan was established in 2016. To date, we have raised $1.3 million for the project. Currently, we have a fully operational factory in Vinh Nguyen province, commercially proven formulation for swine and cattle, well-established seaweed supply chains in Vietnam, Indonesia, and the Philippines, loyal clients in China, Hong Kong, and Thailand. And we are developing a market here in Vietnam. Our strategy is to target clients who are open to adopting a new technology. At present, this tends to be the smaller, high-end niche markets. In Hong Kong, we have the most expensive pork producer using our seaweed blend. Their pork is more expensive than Wagyu beef because food critics claim its taste is exquisite. Thanks to our product, it is completely antibiotic and hormone-free. In Thailand, we have a dairy client who has found that using our seaweed formulation not only increases their cattle's milk yield, but also the fat and protein of the milk by up to 6%. As a result, they command the highest price per litre for milk in Thailand. Our vision is to be the biggest and most successful seaweed technology company in the world. We started with animal feed, as this is where we have traction, but the potential applications are endless. Seaweed can be used as a source of protein, as fertilizer, to replace plastics in packaging, another much needed initiative. Today, you will hear and have heard about many fascinating projects, but I put it to you that this is not only an exciting but very important project that addresses issues spanning human health, food safety and quality, animal welfare, and environmental sustainability. Globally, our over-reliance on antibiotics has left us facing a crisis. As resistance to antibiotics grows, our food supplements are a solution to this. The commercial potential, therefore, are huge. What I would like to ask you today is for your help in making introductions to potential clients in Vietnam, to Vina Milk, to TH True Milk, and Mok Chow Dairy. Thank you.
Thank you. So you've raised a lot of money. Okay. So I'm curious. Can you share a little bit about the traction of the company so far? For example, how much revenue have you brought in? How many countries you're operating in today? Where are you selling your products?
So we at the moment we sell our product to actually the biggest clients actually China. They will take everything that we can produce. Hong Kong and also in Thailand. The challenge for us is we're actually competing against the multi-billion-dollar antibiotics industry. And our seaweed, it is a new technology. It's not a battle that we can win overnight. But what we're targeting and building our brand on is basically the high-end farmers who appreciate the, I guess, the sustainability of the product and also the health benefits that it brings both to animals but also to humans as well. So over time, I hope people will join our seaweed movement because sooner or later it will have to change. I mean, the reliance on antibiotics and synthetics is not good for us. I mean, I don't know how much you know about rearing of pigs, but so much antibiotics pumped into the pigs, and a lot of it, when we eat it, actually goes to us, into us as well. But beside from the antibiotics benefits, seaweed is an amazing plant. I mean, globally there are over 11,000 types, and we are discovering more. But what it does inside the animal is basically it's all about gut health, so it boosts the immune system of the animal. So when your gut is more efficient, you will absorb more protein and grow faster. So for the same amount of food, the pig grows faster. And because the pig is healthier, the mortality rate is reduced. And something that we just discovered quite recently as well, basically seaweed also increases the omega oil in the pig, which is like almost unheard of. Omega-3, omega-6, omega-9, commonly found in salmon, but in pig, no. But also because of the increase in the omega oil, it imparts a very unique and delicious taste, which in Hong Kong the chefs absolutely love. So the potential is absolutely huge.
Your biggest market today is Hong Kong.
Nope.
China.
China.
Okay. Well, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Next, we will hear from Peter Nguyen, representing Tutsi.
A few months ago, we were contacted by a doctor looking for a very specific type of medicine. She has spent an entire month looking for this medicine, but still couldn't find a supplier. It's because her practice was just too small. That order was just too small. And not enough people would make enough money. Not the drug distributors, not the drug agents, not the logistics providers. The World Health Organization estimates that over half the world's population don't have access to affordable health care. Now, when I make that statement, most people tend to focus on the word affordable. Not enough people focus on the word access, which can be as simple as logistics and distribution. Because in countries like the United Kingdom, the healthcare services are already moving towards artificial intelligence. But in countries like Vietnam, we're still struggling with the basics. We're still struggling with logistics and distribution. We're still struggling with how do we get the products from point A to point B. We're still struggling with access. That's why our team developed Tuxi.vn. It's a B2B healthcare distribution platform for Vietnam and emerging markets. Think of it like an Amazon B2B, but for the healthcare industry. Doctors, pharmacies, hospitals, and clinics can log on to our platform. They can conduct research on a wide variety of pharmaceuticals, healthcare products, and treatment methods. If they're interested, they can ask for more data, more information, and even talk to virtual medical representatives. They place their order on our platform and we take care of the rest so that they don't have to worry about their order getting fulfilled and they can spend more time worrying about their patients. We launched our platform earlier this year in February, and after about 8 months of operation, we currently have served over 600 doctors, pharmacies, hospitals, and clinics. These 600 active users book nearly 1.7 million US dollars in healthcare products and services annualized on our platform. Our ask is simple. We'd like an introduction to Sir Richard Branson, founder of Virgin Care. Virgin Care has done amazing things to revolutionize the UK healthcare system, and we'd like to talk to him about how we can expand that program to Vietnam and other emerging markets. We'd also like introductions to two of the largest pharmaceutical companies in the world and British companies, AstraZeneca and GlaxoSmithKline, so that we can explore how we can help them distribute their pharmaceutical products across Vietnam and emerging markets on a more efficient level. Or Tuxi.vn, a B2B healthcare distribution platform for Vietnam and emerging markets. Thank you very much.
Thank you. I hope to meet Sir Richard Branson too.
If you help me make the introduction, I'll
Let's work on that. Okay, so of the $1.7 million that's booked to your platform, how much of that money go to your company's revenue, and what's the business model?
Sure. So to clarify it, in our latest month we booked about 150,000 US dollars per month. So if you annualize that, that's about 1.7 million US dollars. Our current revenue model right now is we currently take a marginal amount of about 4 to 5% from the whatever's booked on our platform. The way we hope to lower that is that if we can get contracts directly with manufacturers and drug distributors, then we can lower that cost significantly by cutting out a lot of the middlemen. We can cut out a lot of the sub-distributors. We can cut out a lot of the expensive pharmaceutical marketing costs and a lot of the expensive medical representatives and leverage technology instead of the human medical representatives.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
All right, before we move on to the last group of company, I would like to remind you that if you connect to the Wi-Fi network here, so on your name tag, there should be the network name and the password. You will have stronger signal, which will help you vote for the companies here today better. So with that, let me move on to Industrial Technology Group, and starting by Enable Code, please help me welcome Colin Blackwell and Chu Yu Ting.
Thank you. Your Royal Highness, ladies and gentlemen. We're Enable Code. My name is Colin Blackwell.
I am here from Enable Code.
And we're here today to present what we've done here. So in Vietnam is notable for amazing economic growth. And in the last 20 years that I've been in Vietnam, poverty's been largely eliminated. But unfortunately, some people have been left behind in this process. And the largest group that has been left behind and disadvantaged is the over 10 million people in Vietnam with disabilities. And the main reason for this is that they can't get decent employment, let alone high-skilled employment. So what we've done at Enable Code is we've set up over the last 4 years, a couple of Brits who've been a very long time in Vietnam, a software company, and we're just doing regular software outsourcing. So clients give us a program to write, a web application, an ERP system for industry. We write that, but all of our staff have disabilities, like Jen here, our lead designer. And we're now proved that's possible. So we've provided the inspiration for Vietnam and are changing the perceptions in Vietnam that people with disabilities can do this high-skilled work. And now we're really ready to scale the whole thing. And for a social problem this size, you can't solve it by yourself. You need an entire ecosystem. So what we've built is we have a number of leading charities here, including Saigon Children, a very active British charity, and they support people in disability shelters, youth, and they say, can we give us your best people, our best people? So we've got some really smart young people. They're too good to be working just in a shop or a restaurant. Could they work in software? And we say, yes, of course. We then pass them over to a great UNICEF program, which is giving them the life skills and the motivation and the willingness to learn. We then set up a separate training organization with the IT College of Ho Chi Minh City, which is giving just the practical skills that we actually need in the software industry. And then we've got the industry association of the industry, which is aligned as a CSR activity to get more people with disabilities into the industry. And then we're providing the service, corporates give us the work, and the corporate can even sponsor someone all the way through and outsource the work to us. So it's an entire ecosystem that we've set up. The ask we'd have from the audience is a very simple and practical one. Anyone who needs some software, bespoke business software built, we can do that. It's money you'd spend anyway, but it's also doing a good cause as you're doing it. Thank you.
How long have you been around? How long have you been operating this business? And what's the most difficult challenge in creating a workplace that is so inclusive for people with disability? I think it's such noble work and be setting the standard for how organizations can become more inclusive like that.
Yes, I've been around in Vietnam forever, but the last 20 years. But the company's been going for 4 years now. And the workplace doesn't need that much adjustment, really. The great thing with technology is its own adjustment. So someone who would be struggling to do a physical task, the computer solves a lot of that for them anyway. So if someone's in a wheelchair, it's very easy for them to interact with a device. So the amount of adjustment we need is actually quite small.
All right, we have one more company, so let's hear from Logivan. Please help me welcome Linh Pham.
Hi everyone, my name is Linh. I'm from Logivan. Logivan, in short, is Uber for trucks in Vietnam. So the trucking industry in Vietnam is a multi-billion-dollar business, $23 billion last year, and growing at 14% annually, with over 1 million trucks registered. But the long-haul trucking industry is extremely fragmented, with over 90% of trucking companies have less than 5 trucks. This leads to trucks being underutilized, with over 70% of truck returns are empty. Thus, the logistic cost in Vietnam is 23% of our national GDP, and that's extremely high compared to other countries like Singapore, only 8%, or even China, 15%. So at Logivan, we want to solve this problem by unifying the trucking industry, connecting shippers and truckers with simplicity, convenience, and reliability. Truckers can pay less fees to brokers and also increase their revenue and also expand their businesses to more trucks. With regard to our business model, there's so many ways to diversify our revenue streams. The first one is commission on the shipments, and the others are selling trucks, selling oil, fuel, insurance, as well as financial products such as payday loan, truck loans. And so far, we have partnered with the largest bank in Vietnam, Vietinbank, the largest truck dealer in Vietnam, which is Thaco and Isuzu, and also one of the largest insurance providers, PTI, and PB Oil for the oil companies. So that's our ecosystem up until now. And since our launch earlier this year, we now have 16,000 trucks in our platform, and our GMV has exceeded $5 million. And I'm Ling, and I'm a UK alumni. I was at Cambridge before I returned to Vietnam and started Logivan. And we have raised $2.5 million to date from Beta Capital Ventures and other VCs in Singapore. Yes, and the ask is that today we look for strategic investors as well as introductions to companies that have a lot of cargo to ship. Thank you very much, and please remember, if you bought it, a truck brought it.
Thank you. Incredible attraction. So I would love to hear a lot more about your team because trucking industry is not an easy one to break into.
Sure. So we have a lot of logistics experts in our team who's worked for DHL, Supercargo, Judis before. We also, our team is mainly technologists. So people who have over 12 years experience at FPT, and also our CTO is the co-founder of Code School. Awesome. Well, I hope if you have the need for more IT resources, you can work with Enable Code as well. Thank you, everyone. So now the voting begins. Do you all have the app on your phone? Does anyone need help? Please raise your hand if you need help with the app. Okay. So in the app, there you will see a button on the home screen that says it's time for your vote. It's time to vote. When you click on that button, you will go to a screen like this where you will see all 12 companies that presented today, and you can vote for up to 3 companies. Any questions? Please connect to the network so that you have strong signal and make your voting more efficient and fun by connecting with the entrepreneurs in the audience. Remember, audience members and entrepreneurs, you can each vote for 3 companies. We have just under 2 minutes for you to vote. Please take your time to vote for your favorite companies today and give them feedback through the app. Stay connected with the entrepreneurs.
1 minute to go. 1 minute to go. Please cast your vote. So we have the results. Who's ready for the results? Fun fact, I asked the founders earlier and none of them has been to the UK before. So let's find out who got a trip to the UK. Please help me welcome back to the stage Your Royal Highness, the Duke of York.
Ladies and gentlemen, just to say an enormous thank you to all our entrepreneurs for their time and presentation. I have specifically stayed away from learning about what all your various businesses are, and I have to say, for the first time event, the variety of different businesses and ideas is just remarkable. I'm really, really impressed. Inevitably, with all these sorts of things, there's only room for one or two, and unfortunately on this occasion there's only room for one to come to London, and that's next week. And so without further ado, what I will do is I will give you, there is an internet award where if you have gone outside into the wider world and marketed yourselves, we have a thing called the People's Choice Award. And the People's Choice Award today was won by Blood. So congratulations. And the voting, I have to say, for the first three that are on this list was quite tight, and there was a bit of jockeying for position, but I have to say that in third place was Zooxy, in second place was Nutrisan, and in first place was Logivan. So Logivan will be coming to London next week. Congratulations. I would also just like to say thank you to our partners again, because it is really important that we have partners to be able to develop and bring this to Vietnam, because it's not just down here in Ho Chi Minh City that it is important, it is up and down Vietnam, and you are an incredibly innovative country, and so therefore this should be something that pass the message out to other people to become involved in. And the other thing is that audience, thank you for coming. Now is the time to network with the entrepreneurs. I can safely say that my team have got active action points for all of the entrepreneurs. certainly in one case, it's not to do something, but we'll do the other two. I'll leave you to work that one out. But there are everything that you have said has sparked ideas. And the really important thing to realise is that because of our network, there are businesses that are doing either similar things to you or complementary things to you that I think you should be introduced to, which will, I hope, then add value to what you're doing here and possibly take you to markets that you hadn't otherwise thought of before. So, thank you all very much indeed for coming, and network time. Congratulations. Oh, I need all the entrepreneurs on stage because we haven't had a photograph. We need a group photograph with all the entrepreneurs.
Ready, big cheese? On three, one, two, three. Thank you, everyone. We have refreshment in the back, so please enjoy yourself, take a big break, and meet other people and tell others about your company. Thank you, all the founders today. You all done a great job. Thank you, the audience, for joining us today.
Vâng, cảm ơn em nha. Em cần gì em đưa chứ? Bye bye Duyên.